My name is Susan Jarvie, and I am a yoga teacher here at Mesa Community College. And today we're going to do yoga in the park and work on a little bit of stress reduction for our lives. So we will begin by taking a nice tall seat and sitting cross-legged if you can. Oh, you guys are good. If it's uncomfortable to sit this way, then you can stretch your legs out or just be comfortable. So it should be a comfortable seat. All right, and then we want to take shoulders and put them over our hips. So move your shoulders over hips, crown of the head. Take your hand to the top of your head and lift your head up into your hand. See how you just got so tall. And then let your hand come back down to your legs. Good. And then we take our tailbone and descend that. Press your tailbone down into the surface where you're seated. So when you do that, your lower belly firms, and now our torso and our core muscles can hold us in this posture. And then we close our eyes. So as you close your eyes, we can close out the world around us and move our attention more inside, moving internally. And by doing that, we become more mindful of how we feel in our body. So a big part of reducing stress in our lives is to recognize it. We have to recognize that we feel stress, and then we can do things to help us to relieve the stress. So we take this next minute or so to scan our bodies, scanning from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head, and then back down again. And as you're scanning, noticing any places that are tight or sore, anything that feels uncomfortable as you sit this way, any places where you feel tension, noticing any injuries you might have, new or old. We notice the physical body in bones, muscles. We also want to notice the inside of the body, so take a moment to feel inside. Are you digesting food this morning? Or are you hungry? What are those feelings like? Eventually, maybe you can hear your own heart or feel your own heart beating. So let's go ahead and guide our attention now to our breath. And you're simply going to breathe in and out, noticing what that feels like. So feeling sensation, what sensations does the breath cause you to feel? You're ready? Let's go ahead and open our eyes and open to a new moment. Welcome back. All right, so we're just going to let's go ahead and inhale, breathing in, lift your arms nice and high, and try to bring your arms next to your ears. Good. And then take your hands together and weave your fingers together. So fingers come together, reverse the heels of the hands to press up toward the sky. Let your shoulders soften down, draw your belly in. Good. As you're ready, take a big breath. Exhale, round your spine toward the space behind you, that lake behind you, and press the heels of your hands forward. Take your chin towards your chest. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. And exhale, we're going to hold this one, and I want you to isolate your back muscles while you move into your back. Come stretching back and forth with your upper back, creating some space there. And back to center. Inhale, lift the arms. Bend your elbows, slide your fingers apart, and roll your shoulders. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, we're gonna turn to your right. Turn to your right. So your left hand comes in front of you, your right hand behind you. Just kind of take your fingertips to the ground. Inhale, lift up. Circle back to center and to the other direction. And continue that just a few more times. Use your breath to guide you. So in yoga, we are focusing on our breath with our movements. Our inhales will lift us. Our exhales lower us and fold us. Inhale. One more more time. We're gonna hold this side. Keep your fingertips down on the floor, draw your belly in, and twist a little further. Maybe look over your shoulder behind you. Rotate back to center and the other way, and we'll hold. Take a few breaths. Look over your shoulder behind you. So that is a little twisting action. When we twist, we're balancing our body. Brings balance to the body, balance to the mind, and it's also a little energizing. So twists are really good if you're tired. In the middle of the afternoon, do a little twist in your chair. And that's going to help you have a little more energy instead of grabbing the energy drink, right? So as you come onto your mat, spread your fingers nice and wide and the palms of your hands are down. Good. So can you put your palm there? Turn your hands slightly so that your index and middle fingers are pointed towards the top edge of the mat. Even the space between those two fingers points to the top. A little bit more. Think about pressing into all the fingerprints and knuckles of your hands. And that takes some pressure off the wrist just a little bit. So we're pressing through the fingers, arms are really strong, and then we're gonna move through a cow pose. So knees are hip distance and right under the hips. Good. As you inhale, just lift the back of your neck. Look forward a few feet. And we're stretching the front body, so shoulders back, collarbones wide. As you exhale, round your spine towards the sky. Take your chin towards your chest, and we're stretching into the cat stretch here. Hold this one, and go ahead and turn your head side to side. And then maybe take your head back to center and sway ear to ear, ear to shoulders, or arms. And back to center, and then soften the spine. Just let your spine come into a neutral position. Lift the back of your neck, look forward for that cow pose again. As you exhale, round your spine toward the sky. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round. And let's do 3 more. Breathing in, stretching, opening the front body. Breathing out, rounding and stretching the back body. We're gonna move dynamically. Go back as far as you can go comfortably for your knees. On your inhale, come back up and look forward for that cow pose. Exhale, move right back to child's pose. Forehead goes towards the ground. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, and we move back down. All right, one more time. Inhale, come up. This time, we're gonna curl our toes under, and you're gonna move into your first downward facing dog, maybe ever, right? So toes curl under, fingers stay nice and wide, pressing into the earth. Begin to draw your belly in, lift your knees. The knees lift off the mat, good. Lift your seat nice and high. And you're gonna use your arms and hands to press your body back toward that leg behind you. And then walk it out a little back and forth. And then both heels press back and down. Hold for just a couple breaths. And exhale, take your knees to the ground, to the mat, and sit back in child's pose, and you get to stay in this one. So we bend our elbows, let your shoulders relax, let your head come to the floor ground, and breathe. As you breathe in, you can feel your belly expanding into your legs. As you breathe out, your belly softens. Couple more. Back up to tabletop. And again, we spread the fingers nice and wide, and hands are going to be shoulder distance. Take your knees together so they touch. Draw your belly in, so navel draws to spine. Lift the back of your neck slightly, and then lift your right knee off the ground and stretch that right leg straight back behind you towards that lake. And then I want you to flex your toes, so your feet are flexed and our hips are level, so let that right hip come down a little bit. And we're pressing that heel back so that you're really stretching that leg nice and strong. And then you can move on if you want to. You can stay right here, or you can hug that right hand in toward the middle of the mat and lift your left hand off the ground. And now you reach your fingertips forward, press your heel back, and take a few breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. So we often forget to breathe when we're holding a difficult pose. Your breath is all you have. Keep breathing. If you stop breathing, you've stopped yoga. Yoga is breath. Exhale, release. And let's go ahead and take that right hand off the ground and rotate your wrist a few times. It's a little sore, wiggle your fingers. And place it back down. Knees are still together. Fingers are spread wide. And lift the left leg off the floor or the ground and press your heel back, toes flex, hips are level. Draw your belly in. Did that knee off the ground? Did your right elbow bend? Yeah, keep it nice and straight. Hugging those hands toward the middle. Belly draws up and in. And then if you want to, you hug that left hand toward the middle of the mat. Lift your right hand off the floor or the ground. And reach your... And then sit back in child's pose. So your arms are straight. Reaching towards the top of your mat. Spread your fingers nice and wide, arms are nice and straight. Lift your armpits away from the ground. Inhale, come all the way up to tabletop. So you're gonna feel like you're a little cattywampus, I guess is a word. So our hands are now forward of our shoulders. Knees are under the hips. Let's curl the toes. You're in the perfect position for downward facing dog again. Lift your knees. Press your bum and your thighs back towards the lake. Take 2 breaths, and as you're here, notice how this pose now feels different than the first time you came here. And we're gonna step or walk to the front. So get your feet all the way up between your hands and stay in your forward bend. Let your feet be hip distance, toe tips point forward, good. Bend your knees, hold your elbows. Let the crown of your head drop towards the ground, tuck your chin in towards your chest. And take let your body sway side to side. Unraveling the spine, releasing and letting go of any tension or stress you're feeling in your back. And then we come back to center, release your elbows, circle your arms back behind your back, weave your fingers together. So the palms face your and slide your hands up your back towards your waistline a little bit. So your elbows are out to your sides. Good, now take your elbows and squeeze them toward each other, toward the sky. Yes, yes, shoulders lift. Now you can safely start to straighten your arms as you lift your hands and your arms up towards the sky, reaching up, lifting shoulders. And this is opening the chest and the front of your shoulders. And then if your hamstrings feel open, you can start to lift your tailbone up toward the sky as you stretch into the back of your knees. Let your hands come down either to the ground in front of your toes if you can reach, or take them to your shins. On your inhale, we're going to come about 1/3 of the way up. So we get a long spine, move your torso away from your thighs. Good, breathing in. As you exhale, draw the belly in and fold in, get a little closer to your legs. Inhale, get long. Exhale, fold in. And again, breathing in. Then fold in. All the way up to stand. Reach your hands overhead and take your hands home to your heart. How do you feel? And we find mountain pose. So mountain pose is where we're just standing, right? We're gonna stand tall as a mountain, as strong as a mountain. So press your feet into the earth like you're gonna send your feet right into the center of the earth. And as you do that, we lift back up energetically. So your legs get nice and strong, your belly draws in, tailbone descends, shoulders soft, and we look forward, crown of the head lifts. And then, something I like to play with, just to get our shoulders in alignment, is we bend our elbows, palms face down, and then turn the palms of your hands to face up. Elbows are next to your sides. Now, from here, without pushing your chest forward, simply take your hands out to the sides. Did you just feel like, so do that again, take the hands out, and then take your hands down to your sides, and you can keep the palms facing forward or turn them back to your sides, but we keep our shoulders in alignment. We have this beautiful pose, mountain pose. So we're strong as a mountain, firm foundation. Nothing could push you over. From here, inhale, reach your arms up. Really get tall, lift your chest up towards the sky, look up just a little bit. As you exhale, fold to that forward bend, folding into yourself. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that right foot back, follow it with the left foot as you take a giant step back to the back of your mat and come into that downward facing dog position. So remember what this was like when you first came here. And notice how your body's beginning to change. When you're ready, take your knees to the ground for tabletop. It's going to be a little bit of an extended tabletop. Look forward for cow. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, come back up to tabletop. Look forward for cow. Curl your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog. Now, be nice and slow. Walk your hands all the way back, bend your knees so you can get there. Pause at your forward bend, and then press your feet into the earth and come all the way up. Reach for the sky. Hands come overhead. Exhale, hands home to your heart. And we're going to reach up again. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, fold into yourself. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. I really love this little sequence because it makes me feel super strong in my upper body. And we find downward facing dog. Hug your hands toward each other. Hands hug in so the arms are squeezing in towards your ears. Belly draws up and in. As you exhale, take your knees to the mat. Look forward for cow. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, come back up to tabletop and cow. Exhale, lift yourself back to downward dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Pause in your forward bend, shin is tucked in towards the chest slightly. Notice how you're getting closer to your legs. Press your feet into the earth and rise up. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, hands come home. And we repeat. Breathe in. Breathe out as you fold in. Of your mat. It's the same sequence over and over again. Downward facing dog. Knees come down to the mat. Look forward for cow. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, come back up. Look forward for cow. And we move back to down dog. So we curl the toes, lift the knees. Beautiful, everybody. And walk your hands back to your feet. Pause in your forward bend. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale your hands home. Let's repeat. Breathe in and fold in. Noticing how you're opening the muscles, you're increasing your blood flow. Round. Inhale, look forward for cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come back up. Cow and downward dog. Last one. Hold, take a few breaths here. Scan your body. Notice what you're feeling. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Stay in your forward fold. Let's go ahead and take our hands back around behind us again and stretch the chest and shoulders, and notice how that feels different than it did the first time we did it. Exhale, release the arms down, and then inhale and come all the way up to stand. Reach high, lift the chest, legs are long. Notice how tall you are. Exhale, fold forward. Good, and then we're gonna bend our knees as we take our seat down to the ground. You squat. And then go ahead and sit back. All right, toes back. Good. And then we're going to take take your right leg and bend, and then cross your foot over your left. and pull those toes back. So sometimes your foot goes to the sides, so try to keep those toes lifted and pulled in, and then the right toes are going to face the top of the mat and really press the big toe knuckle into the ground. Good. Get really tall. And then you're going to take your right hand behind you and come up onto the fingertips and bend your elbow just a little bit. Inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, we're going to wrap our arm around our leg. Actually, I'm doing the opposite. All right, so either take your hand around your leg and hug your leg in, or you can take your upper arm to your outer thigh and use it as a little leverage, but be careful on shoulders. So again, I'm going to inhale up, exhale, wrap my arm around, and then begin to twist. And as you twist, look over your shoulder behind you at that beautiful leg. Lift your chest, relax your shoulders. Keep that big toe knuckle pressing into the earth and draw your left toes back, flexing that foot. Lift the top of your head. Chin is neutral. 2 more breaths. Your legs out, maybe shake them out. And then we do the other side. So same thing, different side. Flex the toes of your right foot. Good. Left arm behind you. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, wrap your arm around your knee and hug in and twist. Rotating the ribs and the chest and the shoulders open to your left. Look over your shoulder behind you. Stretch your legs out along your mat for your last pose today, Shavasana. We stretch both legs out. I'm going to sit up. Also known as corpse pose. And it is symbolic of surrendering. So we're going to surrender and let go of all the doing that we've been doing. We've been working very hard today and moving our body into all these different shapes and poses, moving our energy, allowing us to increase the energy in the body, the energy flow, the light that we feel, and now we can rest. This is the most important pose that you can do in your yoga practice. This is where your body assimilates all the poses that came before this one, giving you the greatest benefit of all those poses. So we rest here in a supine position. It's basically a little bit of a meditation. Let your toes relax out to the sides. Relax your feet. Let your legs feel heavy. Feel as if your hips are soft and melting into the earth. Let your spine relax. Shoulders grow heavier with each exhale. As your shoulders get heavy, your collarbones grow wide. They grow wider apart from each other, and your throat and neck muscles can begin to soften. Unclench your teeth and relax your jaw. Soften all the muscles of your face. Breathe into your whole body. See if you can fill your body with breath and light, energy. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And then draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a great big hug of love and gratitude for this moment. Grateful for all the work that you did today to bring some calm and comfort into your body. Rock a little side to side and eventually roll to a side of your choosing. So we roll into a fetal position, and as you roll to your side, all the way to your side, tuck your knees close to your chest and let your head rest on your arm. You're resting on, you're going to let your head rest on your arm, your knees tuck close. Close your eyes, Take a deep breath and fill your upper back with that breath, really deep breath. Now scan your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, just like you did at the beginning of our class. And notice what you feel. And remember how you felt just an hour ago. And notice any differences. And when you're ready, see if you can come up from your side and have a seat facing forward. And then sit cross-legged. Join your hands in, we call this Anjali Mudra. Good. Nice tall seat, close your eyes. And there's a little space between the palms of your hands. So I like to think of that space as a place to hold my gratitude. So think for a moment of something that you are grateful to have in your life. It could be something that happened today, or a person that you saw, or maybe something you're going to do, or something that you just have. And then take a really big breath. Breathe in, fill your lungs, and a big exhale like a sigh. Let go of any tension or stress you might still hold. Our exhales help us to release tension and stress. Thank you for being here this morning and allowing me to guide you through your practice. That is always my greatest honor. As you move out into the rest of your day, always remember that your presence matters to everyone around you all day long. So always show up and always be present. I honor the light that is in you. Namaste. Thank you.